Okay, so shout out to the camera.
A special shout out to Creatives Converse. Keep watching, keep subscribing, and keep following. Thank you.
Hello guys and welcome to Creatives Converse. For this week, today it's a privilege to have our celeb from the East. You can see explain entire So it's an honor to have Prince Neche in the studio today. Welcome Prince Neche.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. So first off, it's not a hot seat, so don't get
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit sweaty. Yeah, but it's fine.
So I know a couple of persons know you from different angles, from the LC, from MC, from your rise to fame, school days and all of that. But then I think it will be proper to start this conversation with who is Prince Neche?
Okay, so Prince Neche is a stand-up comedian, MC, more pastor, preacher's kid. Prince Neche is a little of everything. A married man. From preacher's family to the entertainment industry to exploring aspects of, writing, acting, all of those things. It's
That's a little bit of
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So I know majority knows you as a comedian.
Yep.
Yeah. So is there something else behind this brand, the Prince Neche?
The comedian is the one that came to the limelight fastest. Yeah, because before the comedy, there was music. I used to sing. I used to have a crew. Used to sing, drop album songs that year. Then there was the acting part. I used to, be on set for all those old movies then, before the stand-up comedy. So people know me for the stand-up comedy because that was the one that I know we first blow. That was the one that came to the limelight the fastest. So I did not leave every other thing in time. I still sing, I still act. I have a couple of songs out. I still have a lot of songs on my phone that nobody has heard. Yeah. And I still do movies when I get a good script.
Yeah, I know you were in Dance Matters when we did Dance Matters.
Oh yeah, I never got to see that movie because the day it was premiered, I think I was out of town.
Yeah.
So I never actually got to see it.
Oh, it was a nice one. I was part of the pop and said.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a nice one because of the crew, the person that called me up. I knew he was,
So, how has it been? Because most of us do a lot of things, especially creatives.
Yeah.
Are multifaceted. So most times it's difficult to actually streamline.
Yeah.
So what has it been struggling with? Because there are young people there. This conversation is purely to help those coming up to actually demystify their dimensions. Because somebody might look up to you as a comedian and will never know that there is this other part of you that you've tried out that probably has not come to limelight. And the person will be struggling to be like Prince Neche. Like some people tell me, I want to do film, I said, have you tried your running skill? You might be a good athlete. And you're just because you think this person is good here. So what was it like, your struggles?
Okay, so I need to put it on record that I never actually wanted to be a comedian from the very beginning. You understand? It wasn't a dream for me. I will not join that. That says this, I'm living my dream. It was never a dream for me. You understand? I was that very book smart kid in school from primary school days. That child that will always come home with first position and all of that. So I wanted to be a medical doctor.
Wow.
But thank God, say God know the answer of our prayer because I wanted to be a medical doctor. And I think my coming into the comedy industry was predestined. I had that medical doctor dream, and growing up, I became a very fantastic footballer. So if I was not a comedian, there is a 95% chance that I would have ended up. A lot of my schoolmates are still surprised that comedy is what I'm doing and not football, because played academy, all those things, traveled a couple of times. Well, you know, life happens. You chase another thing they chase you. So I think I stumbled into the comedy industry mistakenly, kind of. It was in 2008. I was still very young, very small. So in church, we had that teenagers fellowship. I think it was end of the year, so they were looking for a host. So the guy they contacted, he was a comedian, so he gave us one very big bill like that. So I'm like, you know, because I didn't know the intricacies of the business, I was like, what is in this thing that they call person this kind big money? I can do it. So you were like, are you sure? Yeah, I can do it. So they asked me to do it. I got home, I was listening to all those Night of Thousand Laugh, Uchogwa, yeah.
Day the one day.
Yeah, Day the one day for me. Day the one day is new.
Recent, yeah.
Uchogwa, Night of Thousand Laugh. So started listening to all those things and got myself ready. So the day of the event, I did it, and I did it very well. So all the other sister churches, yeah, once they need a host, they would call me. It was not a lot of money, yeah, but I think the person we called charged us 15k in 28. That's a lot of money.
Sure, yeah.
So I think I started taking 2k thereabout. So I was now going to all those other churches to do for them. Till it was just something we were just doing, not like. Then it started making me so happy, being the reason why people are sitting and they are happy. After I do it, I step out and people are like, bro, thank you very much. I was so sad before I showed up, but you lightened up my mood and all of those things. So up until I didn't take it serious though, because I still had my medical doctor dream. Wrote JAM, got admission into ASUD first to study applied biochem. It wasn't what I was looking for, but I was like, okay, let's be going before. So that applied biochem where I go do for ASUD 2.9, it was hell. Not because school or anything, but ASUD was notorious with something like that in those early days. Yes. So it didn't let me school. I had, before matric, we had like 4 incidents, as in back to back.
Yeah.
One day dropped my school bag for my father. I was like, I'm not doing this again. So we started looking for another school where I could go, and that was how we came to Unizik in 2010, January 8th. I cannot forget, I came to Oka. So from that moment, I landed in a campus fellowship that gave room for talents to grow. So I fell into the hands of people that understood the intricacies of the kind of person I was. I was multi-talented. I could play football, I could sing, I could dance, I could write, I could draw. So they accepted me. And while the fellowship was going on and things were unfolding, the comedic parts became very visible. Yeah, it became very dominant. So that was how I started. From that time, there was a church secretary, fellowship secretary. Before he was a comedian, he was a stand-up comedian, MC Cobb. Before he does the announcements, he would tell 1 or 2 jokes, then do the announcements. So he now started letting me take the announcements once in a while. I'll do my own jokes, 1 or 2, do the announcement. Till 2011, he had his own show, and he put me on the bill as one of the comedians, MC Cobb. So I think that was the very first time I considered taking this entire thing serious. So from then up until now.
So how has it been rolling out 8 shows in Anambra? Sorry, we've been up there and down here. How have you successfully pulled up 8 shows in Anambra? Because I've seen people rise and failed. we've had people come and go. As far as the entertainment sector is concerned, we've seen so many stars rise from Unizik, Oko, and the rest of them do a lot of wonderful things, but never exceeded 1 or 2. Some ended at 3, and that was it. Or some even did only once, and we never heard about them. So how have you been consistent, financing, rolling it out, keeping the engagement, maintaining the audience, putting up the collaborations? How has it been?
I'll be lying if I said it's been easy. It has never. I thought that with experience it becomes easier. The more you do, the easier it gets. But I now realize that the reward for hard work is more work. The more you do, the harder it gets. Because the goal now becomes to exceed whatever you did the last time.
Sure.
So when you do a show, you organize a show and you pull it off and everybody is wowed, like, man, this was perfect, this was the perfect show. They congratulate you, but you go home and you are thinking, is this it? Like, is this your peak? Have you hit the highest? So you start thinking of how to make it better. Start thinking of what to do to make it better. It was I think the first time I did the show, I think it was in 2014. I had ventured into the entertainment industry as a comedian from 2011, 2012. So 2013, December-ish, 2013, 2014, I became a very big thing in school then, in Unizik. I became huge. Everybody was calling me for stuff. I was everywhere. So my stage name at the time was the Prince of Comedy, like D''Prinz of comedy. So at some point I was thinking, if I'm going to be doing this for a very long time, I don't think this name would work. So I started thinking of what to do. So I did Revelation of Prince Neche in 2014. That was when I changed my name from the Prince of Comedy. Till now, a couple of people still call me Prince of Comedy, but I moved my name from the Prince to Prince Neche because I wanted something original and something that will stay rather. So 2014, I did the Revelation of Prince Neche. 2015, okay, that same 2014 ending, that's my boss, my friend, MC Cop, introduced me to foreign comedians. So I started watching Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Eric Spears, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. I started watching those guys, and it became a sort of eye-opener. So I knew that I wanted to do stuff like this. So I now did a show in 2015 that I called Let Me Explain. Let Me Explain it was a comedy special that Kevin Hart did. So I did that kind of comedy special at the time, Let Me Explain. So it was quite new because the audience then were so into inanimate jokes. That's how I refer to them. The rats come in the house, the rats say, Papa no dey try, That was the kind of things we were enjoying at the time. So they were not used to building a storyline around an actual event. So I did Let Me Explain at the time. And it was because people started saying that I use juju do comedy. Because there was just that atom of excellence around what I was doing. So I did Let Me Explain. So that was 2015. After that, Let Me Explain, I started thinking of, I thought Let Me Explain belongs to Kevin Hart. So this thing will not last. I need to find my own thing. That's how I created my confession. So something that will give me the chance to talk about my stuff. So Let Me Explain my confession. There's little similarities. Yeah. So did my confession 1 in 2016. I didn't do my confession 2 in 2017 because I was thinking I was going to move to Lagos. Something happened, It slowed me down for a full year. And so 2018 I came back, my confession 2, 19, 20, and from then on we're here now, preparing for the 9th edition.
So what has been the inspiration? since you caught this unplanned trip? What has inspired you to continue? Because I'm very keen because again, why Anambra?
Okay. The inspiration, let me start from there before coming to why Anambra. The inspiration was, I'm not going to lie about it, money. Because from the very first time I found myself in the corridors of the entertainment industry, there was always money to be gotten. Do you understand? Before we will now talk about the effects you have on people, building your brand. So I think that was like the biggest inspiration, the money that was attached, because I be person first son. Bills day to pay, family day to take care of. So that thing that was putting money in your pocket, I just started doing it, and I decided no more plan B. You didn't need to have a plan B. Whatever it's going to take, I'll keep doing this thing till it starts working.
So this explains when the controversy went viral that Neche is all about money.
yeah, I understand. I understood that. I understood when they said I was all about money.
Yeah.
How I am very expensive, but I did certain things to allow myself grow. I'll give you an example. I left school in 2015, yeah, and from 2015 to like 2019, no, not 19, like 2018-ish, some part of 2018, I was still staying and living in the student environment. I was still doing student gigs in school, departmental nights, faculty nights, all those student gigs. I was still doing all of those. And I knew that there had to be more to this. I can't just remain here. So I needed to move away from that environment. So what I did was I moved my price high enough for students to not be able to afford it. I did that for two reasons. One, so that I would stop attending students' gig. That will help me to force myself to find a way into a different space, a bigger space. Then two, there were a lot of comedians coming up in Unizik at the time, and they were looking up to me. So if I keep accepting those student gigs, departmental nights, there were nights I had 4 gigs, 3 gigs. Everybody wanted me to show up. So if I kept accepting all of those students' gigs, all these guys coming up will not have the opportunity to like grow. They won't have somewhere to, go perform,
their own platform.
So if I am no longer affordable, those people will now be forced to use
just like how you came in.
Exactly. So that was what happened, and from that moment, my eyes opened to the limitless impossibilities in the industry, especially with pricing. I understood that if somebody feels like 5 million is too much to give you, there's someone somewhere that feels like 5 million is okay, I can do it. So you just need to move from this space to this space by growing your brand. Do you understand? So pass like that. So why Anambra?
What I'm asking why Anambra particularly is because a lot of young people started like you did.
Yeah, and they moved away.
The next thing they're off. And then I keep asking if everybody has to go to Lagos or go to, now I'm hearing Cross River.
Here's the thing, you can't blame people that move to Lagos. The opportunities that you find in Lagos it can never be overemphasized.
Okay.
Yeah? A comedian at my level in Lagos is okay, maybe because I'm a different person. I do not like to compare people's journeys. But for me, I think it was God. Because in 2020, that was when I was going to leave Anambra after my 2019. So the name of my show in 2020, I had finished planning the show. I named it The Exodus. Because in my mind, in my head, immediately we finish this one, we leave Anambra and we move to Lagos and try again. So, but in the process of planning that show and praying about the entire thing, God said something to me. He said that the location where a person is has little or nothing to do with
His exploit.
their
Success.
Your location has little or nothing to do with your success, because what matters is the revelation you have about your location, because every single place on earth is the same distance with heaven.
So the place of placing yourself from your background to your foreground.
Every single place on earth is same distance with heaven. So if you find the revelation about your current location, it changes everything.
So I think the problem is the mindset.
Mindset
and the revelation.
Maybe.
Because I do tell people, I don't know about others, but I've always been this person who believes that I feel safer, not about security, like in my corridors when I'm in familiar grounds.
Yeah.
Because if I fail here, people that have seen me grow will understand. Are you getting it? But
everybody would feel comfortable in their comfort zone. But they will also say that comfort zone kills dreams. I like to think it is dicey. You can stay in a place that people feel is your comfort zone, but you are consciously discomforting yourself so you can grow. Should be from this Anambra, I've been on AY Life, Funny Bones Untamed, Ajebo Unleashed, majority of those big shows in Lagos, and I've been doing my own gig here. I'm bringing all of those big names from Lagos.
Yeah.
Do you understand? From this Anambra, I've done a UK tour. From this Anambra. And most of the times, you find out that when people hear, because people get to Lagos most times, not like it is wrong or they did the wrong thing, but people get to Lagos and their identity disappears. I am not originally from Anambra, I'm from Abia State, but here's the thing. Came here in 2010 till this is 2025, 15 years, yeah? This place is home for me. Spent 15 years of my life. I've never spent 2 weeks straight anywhere in Abia State before, even in my village. So, Anambra is more home for me right now than Abia. I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know if, things will change. Yeah, but this has become home. And if I've been able to move from here to wherever, it just means that anybody can move from anywhere to wherever, because now the emergence of social media and internet makes it easy. People, quote unquote, come from nowhere and they just blow up.
Yeah.
So the advantage that Lagos has is because the industry is way bigger. There's
the market.
There's a market, there's structure, and there's bigger opportunities, sort of, because the chances of meeting the person you have been trying to call on phone when you're in Anambra, the chances of just walking into them somewhere in Lagos is higher. Do you understand?
So where do you think, or what has been your experience trying to collaborate with other comedians? I'm asking this because I've asked a couple of friends who are in the comedy sector, why can't, I think I was even discovering with Brave one time, why can't all the comedians, I don't mean content creators, I mean comedians in Anambra, come together and pull off a show? A show that would not just attract investors, but also because if I'm going to the government as one person, that's most of the complaints I get. Government is not giving support, government is not this. But I keep saying it, if I'm going to the government as one person, the possibility or the chance I might get is few, no matter who is backing. But if we go as a team, what has been your experience with collaborations with other indigenous?
Okay, let me tell you the absolute truth. You see, comedians in this town, their collaboration level is too much. they collaborate. Take a look at my shows. From the first one to the 8th one, the one of last year, you would always find Anambra comedians on my bill. Now, come to the skit content creating industry. If you count Lagos based on number of content creators, you count Benin. I think the next place you count is Anambra. I think the next place you will count. There's no two ways about it. If you're a sincere person, you know. And most of these guys are always collaborating with each other. All the time. You talk about executive, you talk about Onyobodo, you talk about I'm trying to remember names. But you see each of these guys in each other's skits, they are doing things together. So it must not be a show per se. Not everybody has the grace to do shows. It takes a lot to organize. When we started this comedy show planning thing, there was more than 4 standard comedy shows in this town.
Yeah.
They were up to like 4 or 3. Onyobodo had, I think, Laughter Undiluted.
There was Seriously Joking.
Malam Dagogo, Acts of Apostle, MC Apostle. There was
Out of My Mind,
Parrot Mouth. Yes. All of those comedy shows, them been there. But after a while, the industry has a way of, shifting out, quote unquote, on serious. Not like they are on serious, but it takes an extra level of determination to continue. So if that extra level no dey, the chances are that you will stop. And all of those shows that I mentioned now, all of them don't stop. It's only my show up until now. You understand? But it does not mean that they are not collaborating. You mentioned something about governments not giving support. They are not. They are not. I'll not even lie about it. And if individuals will have to come together, they have to generate funds from somewhere. And Anambra, not until recently that Anambra-based brands started using Anambra-based influencers as brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
It was not until very recently.
Last year anyway. I
follow for one of the very first people we start to the push for Anambra-based brands to start using Anambra-based influencers to influence their brands. And I remember getting some endorsements like that. Then my friends, colleagues, they came on board. They started getting endorsement and getting brands to sign them up. Did you get? So if it continues like this, chances are that in the nearest future, that collaboration that you are looking at, the one you feel is collaboration, coming together to pull off a big show, it might happen. There's an association, Anambra Comedians and MCs. It wasn't until recently, because the current government, the Commissioner for Entertainment, was an entertainer at some point. He's been a broadcaster, he was an MC, so he understands the intricacies. So they reached out, it was a hand of fellowship, reached out, and the association met with the commissioner, and there are plans. These things, just coming up now. So you can't say that there are no collaborations. Then but probably not the way where you think.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my confession line. What are we expecting?
This one is the hardest.
When Kenny Black came, I was there. And I remember then he said, you people will come back again, while he was talking. And he said it not as joke. He said it directly. He said, you people will come back again and you guys will celebrate this guy, whether I am here or not. And I remember playing the drum, bringing you on stage and all of that. So for each season of my confession, I have a particular fan of yours who will always tell me, even if you're not going to get tickets, I will buy for 2. Let's just go. She said she wants to not just witness the prophecy, but the fulfillment. And till now, yesterday night she started me. I said, Prince Neche is coming on my podcast tomorrow. He was supposed to come today. She said she wants to come around. She wants to tell you in person her heart. what happened? Because I think you have a grassroots fan base
Yes.
more than.
Yes.
So, what are you?
I've worked with the same set of people from 2018 till date. My team members has been the same people from 2018. Some of them move on to like do other things, but person where they come out, they bring in replacement. So it's been more of a family. People have watched me grow from start to wherever I am now. It's not finished, but people have seen the growth process, and I think they have also seen the amount of work that that was put in to grow that brand. You understand? So I feel blessed when I see people talk about my shows in positive light. I feel very blessed when I see people talk about my craft in positive light, because you cannot take such things for granted. Yeah, you don't just stumble on things like that. There are people who are doing the same thing that I'm doing, but if they are not around, nobody is talking about them. So if I can get such love, I don't take it for granted. So the reason, I don't know. I can't even say why it is like that. But I think it's a pointer to the fact that whatever it is I've been doing, I've been doing it well. I should just keep doing it like that. People come up and they join. Till tomorrow, I still get invitations from my university. As much as I, kind of turn down, but I still attend. And I'm still surprised for someone that left school in 2015. You still see people in that environment that are still very familiar with my name. They still know me. And you hear statements like, even before I came to Unizik, I was hearing, do you get?
2 days ago was my induction, and somebody said, are you going to bring, they called 2 names, I don't want to call them on this podcast, and then the next name they said is, after those 2, that Prince Neche will be the next person. I'm like, okay, so Okana has written. And if writing is happening, because it was basically Chijoke Ugodu, Yambaba, who is an ancestor in theater. So when we were making the conversation, he said, if Chijoke doesn't come, then Prince Neche. So I'm like, and this person saying this thing is in 300 level, meaning he just came 3 years ago. Yeah. But then the influence has been there. So do you have plans? They say, make I ask you this one. Because that is causing problem online. Do you have plans, or are there already ongoing runnings of putting upcoming or up and coming talents in your brand as the way of, I don't want to call it signing, because the one way they sign last.
Okay, so here's the thing. We just started it like 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
Do you understand? So for every of my show now, there's the Prince Neche, my confession open mic. So it gives opportunity to 10 comedians. Because once you ready, the registration is free. You send the message to a WhatsApp number. It's that simple. You send a message to a WhatsApp number, they start giving you all the other instruction, all the other details. So there's some sort of screening that involves performance, videos. Then the top 10 of everybody that came on board gets to move to perform on the day of the show. So 10 of them gets to perform. The audience, they are not judges. Now, audience, they strictly judge. The audience will reduce them from 10 to 5. Then from 5 to 3. Then the top 3 go perform, and there's a winner. The person that wins, there's money that is attached. We keep growing every year. The first time we did it, it was 100,000 just for the winner. The last year we did it, it was 150k for winner, a bit 200k for winner, 100k for second, 50k for third. Yeah, and it's not just giving them money and letting them go. It's giving them money and bringing them into mentorship, bringing them closer.
Ring me bell. I suppose ring bell for you for this.
Do you understand? So we tried the first time. The person that won the first edition, there was mentorship 1 year, because I don't like that boss boy. You know, they will call you boss, you head a chairman, now you be person we sign. No, I want you to be close enough to see what I'm doing and learn, and close enough to ask questions when you have questions, and ask for help when you need help. So I put you on my platform, I move around with you for weddings, for shows, and you perform on all of my shows. Like 2 years ago, I started doing shows outside Oka. I did Abuja. Yeah. So my winners, they move with me to Abuja and every other place that I do show. Now only UK, they know follow go. You know, so that one no be.
No be child's play.
No be child's play. You understand?
But that's hilarious.
So there's already a platform and it's doing that. We are already preparing for
season 9.
The third edition of the open mic. So 10 comedians will perform. 10 new comedians will perform. There will be 3 winners, first, second, and third, and they will work with me for the next 1 year. The guys that won last year are on the bill for this year. Yeah, they are on the billboards. Everywhere that there's my billboard is, my picture is, they are there. For the Abuja show, for this Oka one. So that's the least I could do for them. And when they are doing their own gig,
They should.
do you understand? Once they reach out, I did.
Wow. That's quite huge. Okay, so my confession line. What details?
How are you people still remembering the number? I stopped putting number after 5.
Well, that's what makes us your fan.
Yeah, I stopped because I thought about it and I'm like, if you keep putting number,
never
maybe one keep. As in maybe one. So after 5, I stopped putting number. I started using the year. My confession 2022, 2023.
Now you the one yourself. We go count and reach it. Now we go celebrate the Golden Jubilee.
Like somebody's already talking to me about confession 10, like the 10th anniversary. Like we have a date. Like there's a date already. February 8th, 2026. There's a date already. Work don't start, and it's crazy. And I'm grateful. But for confession, a lot of people did not notice the change that we did because it's very minor. But then, so the show was My Confession. Prince Neche in My Confession. So I discovered that the name My Confession became louder than Prince Neche. I know that I tell the story, but I was somewhere in Lagos and we talk about shows for East, and the show was mentioned, My Confession. One of the comedians there was telling them, this is the guy that does my confession. And he's like, are you serious? Now this guy did. I said, now this guy did do My Confession. So when I came back, I realized that the name of the show had gone further than I thought. But probably the person who they do them, they don't really know. So this year, we removed the My Confession and it became Prince Neche's confession. But a lot of people still refer to it as, even me, if they shoot my ad and they talk My Confession.
It's not a lot of people. The Prince Neche's confession is your team. What we attend.
Do you understand?
I'm talking in people's mind. What we attend
is My Confession. Yeah, but I feel like with time, everybody will adjust to.
Yes, because AY started with AY script.
Yeah!
And now it's AY life.
So My Confession 2025, 9 years of doing the same thing. February 16th, Oma Event Center. Somebody asked me, why always Oma Event Center? I'm like, do you guys have a bigger venue? Way decentralized.
Yeah.
Because if you bring another venue, you want to know they pass that side. And not everybody gets their private car.
Let's not connect.
Do you understand? So we are working this time around, the husband material.
Yeah.
You know, I got married. That's sweet. So
you started the confession.
So from the moment I got married, people's perception about me kind of changed. So now some of those things I won't address, you know, I won't address some of those
So this
things.
guy can actually stay married.
I understand. So yeah, those things I won't address. Talk about life as a man. Because if you follow my conversation, you know that every year is always about what's happened the next
Yeah.
throughout the previous 1 year. So inside that last 1 year, I am married. So I'm going to talk about it. I have my friends coming in. Abari.com. Abari is one of the biggest comedians right now coming up. I have Funny Arch. Funny Arch is I think he's still the reigning champion because this year a new champion didn't emerge. Alibaba Spontaneity contest, he won it. And who else? Okay, JP is coming all the way from Port Harcourt. I have the Albino brothers. You see my Anambra brothers, yeah? I have the Albino brothers. And then I have my guys, the winners of Open Mic. I have MC Anonymous came first. MC Manuel came second. I also have Dan Smart. He's been on my confession before.
Oh.
So
I know my Emmanuel and that's not.
Yeah. So I have them. I have a couple of others. So it promises to be a very interesting night.
So now, sorry to tell you back again. Because national business is this. And we know how the market be. How have you? Because as much as I don't want to entirely dismiss that it's not everybody that can pull up a show. Some can, but probably for some reason they couldn't get funded. How do you handle funding?
Okay. If you say you will not do show because of funding, now you no want do show. Quote me. Because for every time I have done show, this is the 9th edition. I think it's more like 3 times that I've gotten actual sponsorship. I think it's like 3 times. Every other time is personal funds, my money from start to finish. And people are like, do you make back the money that you used to do these shows? Sometimes no. In fact, most of the times no. But the brand has to stay alive. And the only way people hear about you enough to want to jump on your brand is if you continue.
In their face.
Do you understand? People, it's hard for people to take a chance on you from your day one. First edition, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, no sponsorship. Sixth one, we got a kind of sponsorship. Seventh one, I think we got a kind of sixth. Seventh one we didn't get. Eighth one we got last year. We got an actual sponsorship. Then this year again we got sponsorship. First time use properties. Do you understand? So in those early days, even up until now, the ratio of my money that enters it just most times is all my money. You write sponsorship proposals and you send out. And the days when you hear no are your best days. Yeah, the days when you are rejected are your best days. Some other days, there's a lot to it. So one time, 2018, I was preparing for my confession. I had written proposals, I sent them out, sent to somebody that I know. This guy was a philanthropist, he helped people, everybody know him. And I sent him a proposal. I was like, okay, we'll go through it, he'll get back to me. So one time he called me. He was like, that, okay, he did not get back to me on this one because he was not in town. Now he's in Oka, that I should come so we can go through the proposal. He gave me the address, the hotel where he was staying. I ran down there. So getting to the hotel, the reception showed me his room. I went, he brought out the proposal. We were going through it. And Oga was like that he has seen this proposal and it's good, but he does not understand that what is in it for him. I said, this is brand promotion. Do what we can do for you. Put your brand. And then he said that he said in his words that he has an oil well and he does not need advertisement or promotion. So I was like, okay, your wife's brand, we can bring it in. And I was like, I should not worry. There's something else he's interested in. I say, okay, sharp, talk to me. Oga say, make I sleep with her. Me like this.
Okay, hold on. Just, I know say dog. This is why I'm not speaking English. I'm not doing English. I know say Gabrielas the oka. And then it's a fact that some of us don't want to talk about it. But come on, this thing is eating deep into secondary school children. And the earlier stage is probably when they can, what is it called again? Feed on desperation.
Yeah.
If you're desperate, yeah.
Yeah, those were my very early days. Yeah, I feel like it was targeted.
Thank you.
Do you know this guy said? That the funny thing, my budget then, the entire budget for the show then was 3 million. 3 million.
Now you for Bendu.
So he said that 3 million is nothing. As a matter of fact, he went to a drawer, pulled out the drawer, brought out an envelope, brown envelope, opened them. Bundle of 1,000 naira. Mint note, you pour everything for bed. 10 of them, that's 1 million. He said this money, say once I agree now, I go to come out here with this money. And before I reach house, I will get alert for 2 million. And this was like a few weeks to my show. I hadn't done much. He was mad. I dey wait for this guy, I dey beg am say I no fit. Say worst case scenario, make him buy table. My table there was 50k. They make him buy table. He say why I wan collect one spoon when I fit carry the full pot.
Why do you
Say
want
this money no need am. Say make him show me. He carry the lighter wey he dey use smoke. Pulled out one note from 1,000. Light the thing, e dey burn. At this time, tears don full my eye. Tears don dey come down. He bring out the second note.
Are you not emotional?
He bring out the third note. You dey see your destiny for your front.
They born.
I think he was on the 5th note thereabout. I just pick my proposal like this, run towards door, open am, come outside for staircase. I stand for that staircase. There's a thing about this thing. It's not, that easy. No be.
Yeah, it's not.
I stood at that staircase. I was contemplating whether make I go back. If you see the kind of slap where I give myself, I knock myself, slap, format myself, my brain, and then I ran down the staircase and I left. And I never submitted proposal again for like 2 years.
You know, it's so bad. I have never wanted to say this on camera before or anywhere. A woman told me in this very Anambra to sleep with her, married woman, very reputable man I respect very much, very close to. God bless his soul, he's dead. And told me, sleep with me and I'll give you money for your fiance.
Do you know?
So I know there are a couple of persons that are in this bracket. And it's not just bracket, there are some that are already trapped. Because I think when you started it,
do you know that guy said? That guy said, when I was trying to convince him that please, I cannot do this. He said, no be only you they do it.
Exactly.
Most of these guys,
Jesse, you're not the first person. Yeah, I hear that.
Should I tell you the gospel truth? I do not like to come off as a very sane person.
Sure.
Do you know if he was a woman, even if he was another person's wife, the chances that I would have done it
just
would have been higher. Bro, I was desperate. Should I tell you the truth? The comedian I was bringing that year was just too funny. I still needed to send him
deposit
the balance for his money before he could send me like the video drop.
Yeah.
Now Josh is a brother to me. Like that year was, I started the show 2016. I took a break in 2017. So this was me just coming back to pick myself up again.
Okay.
And this was happening. So maybe if you say that person wife, maybe. But as he be saying that, this guy said, say a small thing. Say he will even introduce me to in friends who will give me money. Do you know that it was up until later that I started thinking about it? That is how you come into a lifestyle you cannot get out of.
By now, for the wear blouse.
He said he would introduce. So then later I come think, I was saying, let me say anybody wey dey introduce me to go still collect. Before I know they don't pass me around like
Yes,
this.
now you turn and shout.
Ah my God.
So, gentlemen, ladies, creatives, it is not always easy. These stories are, this conversation is actually a sensitization to do it the right way. Most of us, especially the young persons, no longer believe in process.
Yeah.
Progress has process. You can't jump. And even when you jump, that jump will land you in a very terrible end. Go and check the situations. It is not being sent on social media. We all have our backlogs.
Yeah.
People have perceptions about me. People have about you. I've had a situation again came to my house and said I got her pregnant. In full blaze. It was on my birthday. That was the most shocking part of it. I had this audience that I never called.
What a present! What a birthday present!
So, please follow process. Creative Converse is all about educating you on how to do it right, get it right, and keep doing it right. Once again, thank you for coming around, Prince Neche.
Thank you very much.
And then it's a wrap.